Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch and the Switch 2 in this upcoming week. In terms of dates, we're going from the 4th of October up until the 10th to see if there's anything worth your time and money. So which games are coming out this week? Well, let's find out. Let's start then with Sonic Wings Reunion. So this is a sequel to the shooting game Sonic Wings, also known as Aero Fighters in some regions. You can play as one of 10 fighters in this sequel to an arcade classic, with 8 initial characters and 2 hidden that can be unlocked as you play. There are 8 stages, including bonus stages, in which players fight in cities and locations in the modern world, and there are giant futuristic weapons from the original game. It supports local co-op, with conversation scenarios it says changed by co-op play. There are 3 different sound modes available, including original music and remixes. There's a training mode for you to try, and there are also leaderboards. £26.99 this one will cost you, albeit you can get 20% off of that price up until the 13th of October. The game releases on the 7th. Next we have Dawnfolk. Here it says you will explore an uncharted medieval fantasy world, managing resources, building cities and surviving against many dangers. It says every choice matters as you explore different strategies and play styles. There are minigames that you will play, and the better you are at the minigames, the more resources you'll get and the more likely your community will weather the darkness. It also says that not everyone has time to invest hundreds of hours into learning how to play a grand strategy game, and you can dive right in and start building your settlement immediately, going from a handful of tents to a big city in less than an hour. I do like the look of this one. It has like a classic Sim City look to it, going all the way back to the first games in that particular series, and it will cost £13.99 when it releases on the 7th, but you can get 10% off of that price up until just before launch. The next game releasing is Yooka-Replaylee. This is, according to the blurb, the definitive remastered and enhanced version of the 3D indie platforming collectathon Yooka-Laylee, which released in 2017. It says there are new remixed challenges and old favourites as you embark to explore the huge beautiful open worlds as the lovable buddy duo Yooka and Laylee. Some of the new features it mentions is that there is now a map, there's a new currency, new customization options, and an overhaul to the art and animation with enhanced performance and resolution. It goes on to say that the original score, which was composed by Grant Kirkhope and David Wise, absolute legends of the industry, has returned, but as an arranged orchestral score this time round. I remember there being so much hype about this game when it was releasing. Obviously it came from former personnel from Rare, who had done Donkey Kong Country and Banjo-Kazooie, of course, and it was a Kickstarter, I believe, that it smashed its target. I don't remember if reviews were as kind to it at the time as they seem to be these days. I think the game has received a lot more love these days, but it'll be interesting to see exactly how this one holds up in 2025. It's out on the 8th for £24.99 or your regional equivalent. Also this week we have Lost in Fantaland. I can't say that title without thinking of the fizzy orange drink, but it's nothing to do with that, I can assure you. It says experience the thrill of innovative multi-card play and strategic deck building as you build your ultimate deck and outsmart your opponents. Lost in Fantaland is a roguelike game with deck building at its core, deeply integrated with board game strategy mechanics. You'll choose one of 6 unique characters and embark on a randomly generated adventure. Use your creativity to build your deck and uncover the secrets of this world. Again, I love the old school isometric viewpoint with a nice strong pixel art style. I'm not the biggest fan of deck builders. They have to kind of grab my attention quite early, or I do trail off a little bit with them, but this one certainly looks interesting. Releasing on the 8th, £13.49, or again, of course, your regional equivalent. Another game out this week is Rise Eterna 2, the first game of which is also on the Switch, And it says Rise Eterna 2 places you in the middle of an ongoing war between two families coveting the kingdom's throne, and a third force plotting its last act of revenge. This is a tactical RPG, and it says there are 24 missions taking place across various locations, terrains that you can use to your advantage, a compelling recruitment and party organisation system, and over 20 different types of gems that you can use to enhance your hero's abilities and weapons. I didn't play the first game in the series. I would guess that one came out when there were far few tactical RPGs on the Switch. There are quite a few these days. I mean, just last week we had Final Fantasy Tactics, of course, but £17.99 for this one, and it releases on the 9th. Then we have Absolum, which comes via .emu and is an original roguelite beat-em-up according to the blurb. It goes on to say that it mixes top-of-the-class combat action with modern roguelite elements, bringing all the vibes of the fantasy arcade hits of the past into an immersive adventure set in an original world. Now, .emu and Guard Crush, who are both involved in this game, also co-developed alongside Lizard Cube the Streets of Rage 4 game, of course, which was fantastic. So if this is in any way as good as that was in terms of being a beat-em-up, then I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm also intrigued to see exactly what the roguelite elements are, how restricting they are, whether you're starting again every time, whether it's more about meta progression. We'll wait and see, I guess, but it has that classic look, that beautiful hand-drawn animation. It's out on the 9th for £22.49 or your regional equivalent.
To make use of their powers in battle. As you explore the world, you will discover new regions, enemies, quests, and challenging bosses who will give you a hard time while trying to put an early...
Okay, next we've got Buy Sweet Carole, which calls itself a chilling narrative horror game inspired by classic animation movies. It's based on a story from Chris Darrell, who did the Remothered series, and is set in early 1900s Britain. You play as Lana and must follow the last known trail of Carole Simmons, your best friend, to uncover the truth behind the Bunny Hall orphanage. I watched the trailer for this the other day, and it's a heavy mix of animation and obviously then some gameplay. The animation reminded me very much of late 80s, early 90s kind of direct-to-video, but in terms of style there was definitely some German expressionism thrown in there for good measure, and the gameplay reminded me of a bit of a hybrid between something like Clock Tower and also more modern games like perhaps Tacoma. Definitely intrigued by this one, I must say. It's one of those where it could be a big letdown, but there's enough about the trailer to make me want to know more. £22.49 when it releases on the 9th, but you can get 20% off of that price up until the 23rd of October. Okay, next we have Little Nightmares 3. This is a dual Switch 1 and Switch 2 release, and there is a demo available for both versions, I believe, on the eShop. So these are like puzzle adventure games. I've played the first two. You play as two young friends lost in a frightening world not made for children. You play as Lo and Alone, best friends since they found each other in this lonely nightmare, and they each possess their own iconic item, a bow for Lo and a wrench for Alone. Of course, you'll need to work together with these characters to solve a number of environmental based puzzles. Now you can play this game in 2-player mode, but the problem is that you can't, as far as I can see by the demo, which I did try a bit of the other night, you can't play it locally, it has to be played online. Now there was a note on there saying that this was to preserve the feeling of loneliness or something like that, to keep the atmosphere of the game. It sounds like a bit of a cop-out to me. I mean, this would have benefited hugely from having local co-op, because as far as I was concerned, that was the main selling point of there being a third game in this series. So it does exist, there is co-op, but it is, I believe, online only. I was also slightly concerned that they still haven't really sorted the controls out, which have been the most awkward aspect of these games since the beginning. Hopefully the full package will fare a bit better. It's out on the 10th, both versions cost £34.99, but yeah, do give that demo a try first if you are interested at all. The penultimate game for the week is Disgaea 7 Complete. This is a Switch 2 game, and it says you'll return to Hinomoto in style with the definitive version of the critically acclaimed strategy RPG, Disgaea 7 Vows of the Virtueless. In addition to the base game and all previously released DLC, Disgaea 7 Complete comes packed with brand new features and content. It says here in the blurb, doesn't go into exactly what they are, although it does say you'll enjoy uncapped stats and unprecedented challenges in this update to the Disgaea series' latest and greatest title. I've played a couple of the Disgaea games in the past. I played 5 definitely, and I believe it was 3, the third game that I played as well. I do enjoy them. They are quite big time sinks, and I didn't manage to sink as much time into those as I would have liked. Certainly not the 5th one anyway. But this one is out on the 10th if you want to give it a go. £62.99. Dear me, games are expensive these days. Or your regional equivalent if you want to pick it up. And finally for the week then we have Snoopy and the Great Mystery Club. It says you'll join Snoopy and the gang in an all-new mystery adventure packed with charm, clever puzzles and heartwarming friendships. You'll play as Snoopy on the case as you take charge of the Great Mystery Club. Build your custom squad of the lovable Peanuts gang, each with unique abilities and quirky strengths that bring fun and strategy to every puzzle. The blurb goes on to say that you'll journey through the town as you solve mysteries and puzzles, visit in the gang's school, the iconic music hall, Charlie Brown's house, the baseball field, the kite-eating tree, and more as you uncover surprises and twists. It says there are Mystery Club mini-games to try and a story packed with heart and humour. The last Snoopy game I played, I don't know how many there have been to be fair, but the last one I played was on the Wii U and the PS4. Snoopy's Grand Adventure it was called, and I got the platinum for that actually on the PS4. That was a decent game, that wasn't too bad. So this one's out on the 10th and it will cost £34.99, but as has been a bit of a theme this week, there is a 10% discount available up until just before launch.
Imagination.
And the round-headed kid himself.
Charlie Brown. Hi, Charlie Brown.
Good grief.
Join Snoopy and the gang. Sniff out the clues and crack the case before supper.
So there we have it. That's another week for Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 releases. Do any of those games interest you? Will you be picking any of them up? Please do let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget, if you're looking for eShop credit to do just that, you can use our website switchup.gg to get your eShop cards, and you'll get yourself 5% of your purchase price back as cashback. And there's a link down there to Play Asia if you want to import any games. Again, just use our link and code. You'll save yourself some money and it does really help the channel out, which is much appreciated. Thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.